All right, so working on fall preparation, harvest preparation, and getting the building set up for this next phase. So right now, grabbing the tractor and take off the blower. Hey, Farrell, not gonna take off the blower and put the forks on. We'll start moving the bladder press, other harvest machines out of the way. And all right, so this, nope, that's not that. We're taking the mower off. Those are on blocks. We're set. I'm gonna pull the pins and put the forks on.
All right, grandparents are in their house. We're in ours. We are getting ready for harvest, which is pretty exciting. Yep, just moving stuff out of the fermentation cellar. And then we're going to change it into our winery and fermentation cellar. So just moving tractors and forklifts and all those heavy lifting things. Yeah, so a bunch of projects. Winery and fermentation room has been shut down for 3 years and used just as a storage room. So we have a lot of work to do. Harvest is in 2 weeks.
Good enough?
Operating manual. All the batteries, but if one is dead, then all of them act dead. But if you put them, what is it?
Yo, Liam, what are we doing?
We're topping up the batteries with distilled water.
Empty this place. A lot of work.
No.
I'm gonna move it.
Would you? I'll stop. Okay, well, we're clearing out the fermentation and room, which is going to be both fermentation and the new winery. So that means getting everything out. It's been mostly storage right now, so we've got to do a full and deep clean, getting out barrels of wine, barrels and vats, and our old juice press. And yeah, Papa's coming out right now with another load from one of our poly fermenters. So a lot of work.
Alright, so thing with grapes for harvesting. So take a grape, need it to have the seeds the color of coffee brown, and if they're not, it's not time to harvest. Right, so I'll show you a seed. Yep, right there. Not quite coffee brown. I walk down where people are doing this stuff. Lily, what are you doing?
We're sweeping out the cellar so that we can blow it out with the leaf blower.
By the way, that's empty.
Well, I suppose this is something that not many people know. Last 20 some years we have been building toward the idea, the plan, that we would be returning to the family estate. And across our travels, Alaska and many other places we've been, it's all with the goal that eventually we'd be back here at Jacksonville Vineyards as the next generation of winemaker operators. That time has begun. We're very much busy with construction, next steps, growth, and getting our family comfortable with where we are, transitioning the vineyard estate to a place that is now 3 generations, and that takes a lot of work. You see, while it's been a plan for some 20 years, that plan has been 20 years out. And so making the transition from plan to action begins now. It's been a lot of work in prep, in conversation, in goal setting, in getting an idea of shared purpose and where we're going to move forward with this. But the work of making the change, so a lot of this is just figuring out what goes where, as we've got our family of 7, we've got grandparents here, Hannah and Papa, and then we've got our 7 sled dogs, 1 chocolate lab. So much of the challenge here is deciding which pieces go first, how to put the pieces together. Obviously, harvest is coming soon, so that the grapes determine that. That's coming up. Figuring out a home space, how this is all going to work. That's been something that we've had tons of conversations about, but now is the time to make it happen. So harvest, home front, the endeavors of our film and social media projects, particularly in visual storytelling, and in our own professional work. All those pieces are now coming together, which is great. And thankfully we've got the right foundation. But now it's crunch time. I mentioned that harvest is upon us. Now, Jacksonville Vineyards has been around for over 23 years. It's one of the premier wine grape growing operations in Southern Oregon. The winery, however, has been closed for several years. And that is going to take a lot of work to get back up to speed. So we're harvesting and selling grapes. Effectively, we're farmers. We grow wine grapes. So we'll continue that for the next few years as we get some home wines, some home estate wine growing processes underneath us. We develop our estate a little further to suit 3 generations' needs, and we focus forward on this next generation, this next chapter for Jacksonville Vineyards. Now, we are no longer, however, a winery. That's been a tremendous change. It's been huge to get our minds around being primarily farmers, which has been amazing to go through the process of just focusing down only on the grape growing process, which has always been a huge part of what we've done, but it was always intermingled with sales, marketing, and getting this into the bottle. So pulling that back for the last few years has allowed our family to take a bit of a break. As this next chapter begins, however, we are re-engaging the winery process. That's going to take several years. There's a lot to this. So that is the journey that we're beginning. Not just our business endeavors, a backcountry professor, our adventure and social media, our visual storytelling, the rest of our family engagement, homeschool, and all the things that we do in life, but getting the winery, this next phase, back online for a new generation of winemaking.